welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer, and in this video we're going to be taking a look around North Frisian 25. This is a map based in the far north part of Germany. I don't know if this is actually based on an actual location, but I have a feeling that it might be a fictional map that is created in that sort of style. Yeah, this is a very interesting map. First things first, I need to address a big thing with this map, and that's before you even get into it, before you even get onto it, it has 30 required mods. It is a colossal download because of that, and I know there are many people who don't enjoy having to download a lot of required mods, and personally I tend to think anything 5 or 6 required mods I think is a good number. Anything over 10 is a little bit much. 30 to me is excessive, so it is slightly disappointing that it does require so many mods to be downloaded, this map. But I will say that everything I've seen so far up to this point has been quite a nice looking map. So we'll see if having all those mods on here really adds a lot of character and a lot of playability to this map. I will be looking for a lot of that while we do this tour to really offset that number of mods you have to download. We're going to be downloading, or we're going to be driving around in the Skoda here. This comes as part of your starting equipment, so we're going to give a drive around with that, seeing as it has been provided for us. But before we do that, we're going to have a quick look at the PDA, and you can see here that really quite an interesting PDA here. We've got a few squarish fields. We've got a lot of very odd shaped fields. We've got, I mean, field 19 down here. I would love to see how the hired work is going to handle it with this, with these cutouts in it. So there's some really nice odd shaped fields in here. A little bit variety in field sizes as well. Looking over this, I think the largest field is probably going to be Farmland 7. 672,000 on that. We will just compare. Yeah, so 68 is not more expensive. So it looks like Farmland 7 is our most expensive one on here at nearly 700,000. As for the cheapest piece of land, looking around 11 would seem to fit that bill at about 11,000. So a very good variety here of field sizes. That's very nice to see. Would do fine then for a start from scratch. There certainly seem to be a few fields around here you could buy with the money from that. Just having a quick look around, it looks like there might be a couple of actual farms around the map. 249 down here looks like a farmyard. We've got an area up here actually that looks like a farmyard as well, and in fact is bought as part of 250. And 252 up here seems to be a farmland as well. So it looks like we've got a few farms in here. We've also got 14 purchasable forestry areas, and those are not expensive. So yeah, if you wanted to start off with a little bit of forestry on this map to build your cash up, there are certainly areas on this map that give you the ability to do that. 233 here, I'm not sure what that is. It's 35,000 and seems to be a streak here, and you own it, but yeah, not quite sure what that is. Starting fields are very distributed around the map, which is a pity. I always like to have my starting field sort of around the main farm, and it looks like you'll drive quite a way to get to any of them. But that's a minor thing. If you want to change those, just sell those fields and buy the ones you want to start with. So let's have a look then at the production chains, and this does not bode. That is, so this map, this is what I was talking about. This map has 30 required mods and only has 1 production chain. That is massively disappointing. It does not seem to me that there's a lot of extra playability brought in by all those mods, and that's such a shame. Why do we have so many required mods on this which don't seem to add functionality? We may find that they do add more functionality, but I'm looking over these set of mods, and most of it appears to be decoration and sheds and things like that. That is disappointing. So, this is gonna have to be a really, really amazing looking map, I think, to offset this, because so far it's got all these mods to download. As far as features go, it does not seem to have that many built in. The main yard here that we're driving around looks quite nice. I'm liking it. It's got a bit of character to it. It is centered around the cows by the looks of things. Bit tight up the top end here, but otherwise, yeah, that is a perfectly interesting, serviceable yard. Let's have a look on the map where we are. We're here, so I am going to head out and down this way. We've got some bits at the bottom, but yeah, you can see there is literally 1 production on here. That to me is unfortunately, and we've been over this with many maps and talked about this a lot before. I really look for a lot of features built into maps for their playability, and productions is the one that people tend to skimp on more than anything else. And yeah, it is missing from here. We have our first area here. This looks like a sell point, and yeah, and the garage. So we have in here some fuel pumps. These gates open. These gates don't open. So this looks like one of those maps that you need to hit a certain time to open gates. So if we take this up to 9 o'clock, let's see if these open. And there we go. Gates automatically open. So yeah, this is one of those maps where in order to enter or go to certain points, you need to certain times need to be hit. So if you need fuel late in the day, that is not great, because this is all locked off. And then we've got, is this the shop? This might actually be the shop, because that is, yeah, that's a repair point. So is the shop in? Yeah, the shop's in here. So this is our shop and our setup for that. So that's why this opens at 9 a.m. Plenty of space then for stuff that you've purchased to spawn. That is very good from that point of view. One thing I will say I am loving is the detail along the side of the roads here. This is quite a beautiful map. There's a lot of work gone into detail areas on here. We do have a little bit of forestry here though, and we're going to do our normal check inside the forest and the woodland. And yeah, look at this. We've got a good amount of detail in here. We've got various bushes in clear patches. We've got different bits of foliage around. So detail level on this map is very nice, and that is good. As I said at the beginning of this, considering that the playability on here seems to be lower, having a nice looking map and a well detailed map I think is important. We have a rail line going through here. I wonder if this is going to be a working train line or whether it isn't. Can we see a train on here? We do see a train on here, but oh yeah, no, I do. Up here, where we're going to cross the railway line, just the other side, I think we have a station. So we do have that feature built into here, and I like that. The fact that we have a railway and it's a usable railway seems to be a good thing. So we're kind of winding our way around here. Don't think the train comes. No, the train doesn't come this side. So we've got a tipping point here. We've got a loading bay here. Do we have somewhere? I think the train is coming. Yeah, we do have a point to load that up. Ooh. However, that is not solid. that is hilarious. That's not solid. Which, considering you could run around here and want to run up onto the station, that is not great. Yeah, but we do have a train. Is this the same is true on this side? The same is true on this side. Why does that not have a collision? Of all the places that you're likely to run up, is the same true of the steps here? Yeah, none of the. Does that mean no? This is the, wow. So these bits here all have collisions, but the actual part of the building where you'd stand on doesn't. That is very interesting. But yeah, we got a space here to load up. Also, we got a sell point over this side here for bales, so that's very nice. I like that. And looks like we have a purchase point for lime here too. So a few nice bits and pieces up by the railway station. This is, for the most part, a very nice looking map. There is a good amount of detail around it. I can't fault it on that side. We have a purchase point for manure. We have a purchase point for slurry. And we must have the animal market. Yes, that's exactly what this is. So animal market is positioned here. And no sign of Katie, though. I don't know if there are many NPCs around here. Let's have a look here. I think we want to turn, yeah, we want to turn right here and head down because we have a load of buildings and a load of sell points and things down this end. This is a very clean looking map. It's very clean. It's very pretty. From that point of view, it's a nice map to look at while you're playing on it. And I think that's good. I think this needed to be for that. Again, we've got the gateways stopping you coming in and refueling. And is this a refuel point? I think this is. And then we've got do we actually have, now we might have something on it. Do we actually have a warehouse on here? Is that what this is? So we do at least have a warehouse. We may not have any productions to actually use stuff that we get from the warehouse, but we do have a warehouse. Looks like we have another lime point and another sell point. And yeah, can I drive through here? I don't know if this will actually squeeze through here. But yeah, we have I'm thinking that must be purchase points in there. Yeah, I think those are purchase points. So yeah, a lot of places to purchase materials and things on this map, but very little in the way. Actually, I'm not going to go back on myself. Ooh, car coming in. Very little in the way of onwards from your farm. So you can buy stuff to use on your farm. You can farm stuff, and then the way the map is set up is just to sell it. On the plus side, the map itself seems to be pretty flat. So if you did want to use some of the farmland to build factories and things, you could. In fact, I think if you go over to, if we come down here, then we should see one of the extra farmyards. that we were talking about earlier. Plenty of space in here. So I wonder if you bought this, if you could sell these buildings and things and use this as a placeable area. I think that would be a distinct possibility around here. So as a result, that would work pretty well for that. But again, you would have to place your own buildings, and with no real sort of Central European map on FS25, you are going to have to go and download even more mods, because there's none of these. There's no productions mods downloaded with this. So in order to make this, you've got to go and download even more mods to do it. It's just, yeah, that's a little bit painful. We've got a BGA here, and again, one of my recent disappointments with maps, you have to buy this land to get the BGA active. It is not a production on its own, and it's therefore also not a sell point, which I really wish more maps would make the BGA a production that doesn't need the land, doesn't require the land to be bought. That is a little bit annoying. We have a heating plant in here, so nice little sell point here for wood chips. And then if we head back over to this road here, we can head up to the top of the map, and we can have a look at the water area. There's sort of a, so this is based on the north coast of Germany, and so this is sort of the area that would be, it looks like it's reclaimed land from the looks of this. We've got a very high edge up here with a walkway up. Got a cordoned off area there. So I'm just going to jump out quickly and have a look up the top here. Across the planks, up the steps. And yeah, out onto the beach area. So that's quite nice. We've got a nice beach around here with a sand bit in the middle of the beach. And a few deck chairs and things. You can walk into the water. Yeah, looking very cool. I do like this aspect of the map. That is very nice. I wonder if you could get a car onto the beach, but I don't think that would be very easy. That would definitely be a test for this to see if you could do that. Again, we've got some lovely detail in the ditches either side of the road here. It's very nicely set up. We've got water in there. We do have sheep running along the side here. I was wondering if that was a pen, and it does seem to be. I wonder if you could buy that. We do have, is that a sell point? The other side, I think you can actually drive to the beach. I'm gonna jump this ditch. Yeah, there is actually a sell point over here, and yeah, you can drive around to it. So that is possible probably then to get a vehicle onto the beach, which would be a lot of fun. And so we'll head down this road here. I don't think we're going to end up getting onto the beach ourselves. Instead, I want to go and have a look at this area up by field, or by 101. On the way, though, we do have a roadway down into what looks like another yard here. So again, you get a whole load of stuff to purchase with the yard, a nice big area. I actually think that the two yards that we've been to are a little bit more interesting than the main yard we start on. There's a little bit more character to them, and I would probably, if I was looking to do this map, would look at maybe one of the other two yards. I think they are a little bit more interesting as yards go. But I do like the fact that there is a choice here as well. It's feeling very much like sort of a a farm manager sort of level map, this, to be honest. We've got a sell point in here, at the front of here. That takes pallets and bales and goods from trailers, which is great. Then up here, this is where we've got our sole production on the map. So that is the sawmill. In fact, that's carpentry, is it? Yeah, that's carpentry. So that's sawmill, basically. And then over the other side here is something that is going to annoy me. Is absolutely going to annoy me. This is going to be a dairy, isn't it? This is absolutely a dairy that is set as a sell point and not as a production. Oh, I really wish that this wasn't the case. Please, and that's a custom dairy on this map, and it's like 3 triggers to do it as a production instead of a sell point. It's not. It doesn't seem to me to be a big thing to put that into a map. In fact, I've done it. I've altered maps and put a dairy production instead of a dairy instead of a sell point, and it's not a huge deal to do it. And I kind of wish we saw more of those features put in, especially on a map like this where it does require so many mods. That is very disappointing. We've got another sell point up here. I've not seen a spinnery or anything like that as a sell point yet, but I have a feeling I'm gonna feel the same way about that. The moment we find something like that, it's, you know, it is kind of, it feels like, I've said it before, it feels like a basic thing to have a spinnery, a dairy, and a grain mill that are productions on a map. Those 3 things I kind of look for as default. This is a farm shop sell point. It's a farm shop sell point. Oh wow, that's not owned. At least I don't think that's owned by the looks of things. So yeah, nestled in the back here is just a farm shop sell point. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers most of the stuff on the map as far as all the sell points and everything go. So there's quite some. Oh man, this map does look nice. As I've said the whole way through, this map does look nice. There is a really good level of detail to it. I'm still not sure that that many mods are required for this, and it's kind of disappointing that there are that many mods just to make a map look nice and not to add to the playability. That to me is a disappointment on here. I also just not having productions at all, not even a basic set of productions when there are this many mods is I find that so difficult to take on here. This is, do you know what? This is a big yard. So this is the last of the 4 farmyards that we found, and this is not small. This has got a lot of animals to it. I'm looking at it and I'm guessing cows, although that could be chickens as well. Yeah, big old yards that. So lots of this is the thing. Lots of scope to do on animals in here. nothing to do with their products once you have them. Yeah, it kind of, on a pretty map like this, it does take all the detail out of it. Or it does take all the character out of it, because you don't have that interactivity with the rest of it. So yeah, it's a good map. It's a lovely looking map, but there's quite a few bits of it that disappoint me, and it kind of sets you up for that, which is the really hard thing. Is that it because it requires so much to download just to get started. It really sets itself up for that disappointment, which is so unfortunate. So let's have a look and see what starting vehicles we have. Now we've got an animal yard with cows, so I'm looking for stuff that allows us to do cows straight off the bat. And we've got quite a lot of equipment here. So there's an Agromaz POV 5XL plow, an Albert bale spike, an Albert pallet fork, an Albert universal bucket. You've got a Brantner Z 18051/2 XXL power flex trailer, Class Evian 450 combine harvester, and a Class Vario 620 header to go with it. An Elmer's Manufacturing Ravage straw blower, a FarmTech DPW 1800 flatbed trailer, a Flegel PFW 18,000 Maxiline Plus flurry spreader, a Horsch Credo 3 and Horsch Versa combination cedar setup, a Hardy Mega 1200L sprayer, a John Deere 3650 tractor, a John Deere 6R145 tractor, a John Deere C441R combination baler, a Kuhn RA142 feed wagon, a Kubota R640 front loader, a Nardi N40BX header trailer, a Sam's KDF 341S front mower, a Sam's P8-890 tedder, a Sam's XT390 rear mower, a Sam's Z2-840H windrower, and the Skoda Kodak car that we've been driving around in. So yeah, a decent amount of equipment. Certainly will cover everything you're looking at starting with. Nothing to transport your milk once you have your cows, I did notice. So you will need to purchase that. But otherwise, yeah, a decent amount of equipment to start with here as a new farmer. So all in all, a pretty map, a very pretty map. But ultimately, it kind of lacks features, especially on the production side. For downloading so many required mods, I would have expected some, at least a few production chains in here. Yeah, that really kind of lets it down a bit. But if you're not too fussed about production chains and you fancy taking on a map like this, I think this would work nicely as a single player or multiplayer map. There are multiple farms here to spread out if you want. So yeah, I would go for it. And really, with that, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Huge thank you as well to all of my patrons and channel members. These videos are only made possible thanks to your support. If you want more from Virtual Farmer, please check out the videos on screen now or subscribe for more. And I will see you next time.